my mom had, well, excuse me, not my mom, someone had asked me, why don't you make any plans after the game? I'm hearing everybody before we go in, they ask, why you make plans after the game, bro? I said, because I don't plan on being alive after the game. Because I was willing to give anything it created and whatever that game pretty much. When I say, bro, football was my everything, like it really, and that's a part of the reason I'm so passionate to come to coaching.
Yeah.
Because you mean to tell me you ain't never had no real injury? You never had no surgery? Not you, I'm just talking in general.
Yeah.
You ain't never like really had to like bump, you like, you mean to tell me you really gonna waste God giving like ability?
What's up, boy?
What's up, Quiz? How you doing?
Hey, how you feeling, man?
Good, man. All is well, man. I appreciate you for the introduction.
Man,
Listen,
y'all, let me tell you something about this dude. When I first met him, I guess I said when I first seen you,
correct.
It was in the locker room. And you was so quiet and you didn't really say nothing, you just walk around. But our first real interaction was when, I had to walk away from the team in 2022, 2021.
Correct.
And like you pulled me together and you was like, let me help you out. Like, I'm gonna get you together, we gonna work out, we gonna do this.
Yes, sir.
And that crowd was dangerous. Like, you are at this given time in your life, you're a big time recruit and everything. And back in high school, you were top 150 in the nation. And this is something that a lot of kids don't get an opportunity to even do, right? And like I said, like we met in the locker room, but I want to just know from the beginning of like how your journey started, just like your senior year, how everything just unfolded for you. When did you get your first offer?
Correct. So I personally think my transition into football was kind of interesting, and I'm gonna just take you back. Let's just start from age 12 years old for the most part. We're really age 10. That's pretty much where I got diagnosed with Blount disease.
Wow.
That's when I pretty much started my surgery journey for the most part. People, and that was my brothers at the time, they still are, just joining me, man. They called me parentheses because I had a bow in my leg.
Wait, parentheses? What does parentheses mean?
No, I literally had a bow in my leg. One of my legs was straight. One of my legs literally had a bow, like, because I had Blount disease. So I was growing so fast that one of my bones were growing kind of abnormally. So with that basically being said, I was pretty much my surgery journey started was pretty much where a lot of things kind of played an interesting role for the most part. I started having to go down to Jackson, Mississippi. At that point in time, I had to start pretty much get my MRIs, X-rays, and that's when my first initial opportunity, I'm saying, introduction to anesthesia pretty much started. First surgery, I've had 12 total, but in so many, I had to go in, had to put screws, they had to put rods, they had to put plates in my legs for the most part, both of them. That was a 4-year journey. But in between that process, I still love sports. So I played all sports for the most part, but I wasn't good at it. The reason why I wasn't good because I couldn't express the God-given ability that he had bestowed upon me.
Wow.
So with that basically being said, I never forget my 10th grade year. I go out and I talk to Coach. Actually in Votech, I look down and I see Coach Chambliss, and I say, Coach, I walk down there, ask him, can I get on the football team for the most part? And he gave me an opportunity, man, that pretty much changed my life at that point in time. He pretty much dressed me out in pads. When he dressed me out in pads, I'll never forget, like it was yesterday, went out there, had a pretty solid practice. Now, keep in mind, I played football up to that point, but not really and truly. And I went out there and did pretty okay my first practice. We got in the county fair. I took the wrong step, and I felt a pop in my leg. And pretty much I had broke my leg.
At 12?
Yeah, this was pretty much transitioning from 7th grade. Now I'm speeding on up to like my 10th grade year for the most part.
Wow.
So that happened in 10th grade. I probably was like 15 at the time. And I was in a leg cast for 6 months.
Wow.
And I'll never forget it like it was yesterday. I was on the team, but I wasn't playing, of course. I just was there pretty much helping out a little bit as I can. But that was pretty much just from a water towel standpoint. And I never forget that was my opportunity. I had the best doctor in the world, my personal opinion, Dr. Altmaier, Luke, his son.
Yeah.
And shout out Luke, doing a phenomenal job of Illinois.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget, they cut off my cast, and that was my first time ever having rehab ever. I've had plenty of surgeries leading up to that point, but the doctor told me at that point in time I just grow and things are pretty much naturally healed. And that wasn't the case, of course, because I broke my leg, but due to atrophy and other things of that sort when it comes to just the bone, the muscle deterioration, due to not using it and firing it properly. So many words, I transitioned from that. I go to rehab down at West Point, right across at the hospital for the most part. That's pretty much a lot of things started for me that off season. I had a pretty okay pretty good off season going into my junior year. Yeah. We played Meridian, and when we played Meridian, we played my good brother. I actually played football with him in Alabama. Yeah. Talked to him a lot. A great brother of mine as well, Raekwon Davis. And we played Meridian. At this point in time, my offensive line is loaded. So I'm playing tight end for the most part, and I'm blocking tight end. West Point, we're a run dominant team, so I'm playing blocking tight end. And it's fell in love with the process, man. We had a great opportunity, we had a great O-line, and I pretty much, everybody did that thing. No one man is bigger than the show, but at that point in time, I got a little attention. I would say Coach Heavesty was at the game. He looked at me, shook my hand, and pretty much from that was just like, okay, this is interesting, because leading up to that point, my biggest thing, my mom told me, and she only meant me well, she said pretty much my journey was to go to high school. After high school, go down to East Mississippi, get my heat and cooling, I think license or what the case may be, and possibly have a good job, possibly working on a railroad or something of that sort.
Hold on, so like your mama already dang near had your life planned out.
Correct, because I mean, football wasn't a sport really. It was something I was interested in. Excuse me, it was something I loved, but it wasn't something I actually seen a future in for me personally, because of all of my detours I had. So.
And in reality, like just in your football career, you really wasn't even supposed to make it this far, something we adjusted into later on this podcast.
Yeah,
so like everything was already planned out in this sort. So how did you just even become this big time athlete? Because you say you play with Raekwon Davis, and you're a big time player yourself, as long as you.
100%. So we actually play against them. We're in the spring game. For the most part, we transition through that, and as we going through, have a really good summer. My junior year, and then after going to transition through my junior year, we get kicked off with the season. Once we get kicked off with the season, like I said again, we got a loaded offensive line. I'm literally playing tight end. I'm number 6. And I'm number like 99, so I could be eligible to run out on routes.
That's for sure.
Routes at West Point, I wasn't running like go balls. I was literally just running slant. You know what I'm saying?
2 steps.
Yeah, 2 steps, literally. And I caught a touchdown. Yeah. True story. I caught a touchdown, and man, I'll never forget. I would just enjoy the atmosphere. I just enjoyed being out there with the guys. I just enjoyed that camaraderie for the most part. I did not have a Twitter. I didn't know anything about the recruiting process.
Wow.
And I just literally just enjoyed being out there with the guys for the most part at that point in time in my 11th grade year.
Yeah.
I get done my 11th grade year, and I've always been a really, really, I would say, upstanding student for the most part, but we had our struggles and things of that sort, and I was talkative. And I never forget, it was one time, it was right after the season, and I actually get in a little bit of, I ain't gonna say trouble, but the teacher I was talking. And pretty much I got sent to ISS or something of that sort. And I'm in ISS, and I never forget, over the intercom, there was a call, and they said, Scott Lashley in there. And of course, the teacher said, yes, you over the intercom. As that transition happened, I hear a knock on the door. I turn around, it's Coach Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen and Coach Heavesty. And that's when I got my first offer in ISS.
So Dan Mullen from Mississippi State. Wait, this is really great. You got your first offer when you was in ISS with him.
Literally. So I'm at ISS, apparently he may be at the school. This is the off season, so of course they can drive to the schools and this what during that free period, whatever the NCAA period was. And I'm in ISS, and I'll never forget like yesterday. I'm knock at the door with Dan Mullen, and they pretty much, Coach Chambers, that they walked me outside the whole nine. Yeah. And I had that opportunity to pretty much say it was that from that first offer.
Yeah.
Everything up to that point was a blur for me because it happened so fast.
Wow.
I didn't have a Twitter. I didn't go to any camps.
Wow.
I didn't do anything the quote unquote way that I would advise a kid to do it now for is trying to get your name out there. I did not think I would be this big time football player. I didn't never look at football like that. I didn't really look at sports like that. I was a fan of sports, but I never really had that inclination that I can really go out there and do it because I literally just fell in love with the process.
Just playing ball. Now, my next question would be is because you didn't have a Twitter, I heard some stories that like, you know, they try to like, don't get no Twitter, try to hide you. And, you know, so because you was this big fella coming out of West Point, Mississippi, and then, you know, you go, Dan Mother trying to recruit you, did they try to like hide you, not put no Twitter stuff out like that?
I would say if a school doesn't try to hide you, then I don't think I would say they possibly think, trying to find a proper word of saying this. I'm gonna just say in so many words, as any good school, you do your best to go ahead and get a guy to try to commit to you for the most part. And I think that's just the nature of the business. But outside of that process, it was interesting. It was interesting. But I would say I did respect Mississippi State. I did respect Coach Dan Muller. I still do respect him to this day because it's offered a lot of our guys. And I respect the hell out of Coach Hevesty. I really, because his passion that he always possesses to the game still to this day as an older man, it's second to none. And really and truly, man, they took me under their wing, like literally took me under their wing.
Wow.
I went on and I did create my Twitter account. Skipping around that question, I didn't camp. I got invited to the opening and things of that sort. And I did not do good there at all. And the reason why I didn't do good, because we're a run heavy team. I never been to 2-point stands until I got to college.
Wow.
I never took a pass at an actual like traditional kick set, like a generalized kick set. Like actually things of this sort. We did more slide protection and we did do some kick sets, but mine looked horrible. I just was more brute strong than anybody in front of me. So when I had an opportunity to actually have to look down at the technical side of things, that's where that was kind of a little bit of a development process. And I didn't fall in love with the process, but to stay in high school, man, I got that first offer. Once I got that first offer, things was nonstop. Like back to back to back to back to back. I had a lot of offers, man. A lot of offers is not even, they were on 24/7 at some point in time and rivals, but not anymore. But we had tons and tons, like literally 20, 30 offers, 25, 30 offers at a young age. And therefore that's when things kind of, it just, man, it was second to none. And I wouldn't take that process back for the world, but I would say I wish I could have alter my mindset going into it and understanding what to get out of this process because I was just excited just to be there.
To be there, wow. Because I was going to look and you had offers from UCLA, Alabama.
Everywhere. A lot of offers, man.
I seen that.
Oregon, etc.
Wow.
At a young age, like 2015, 16.
I seen that.
Things were unheard of. Well, they were heard of. Don't get me wrong, but in so many words, these things were
not as popular as they are today.
Correct, 100%, man. Wow. Especially coming from a town like, like West Point for the most part. We got guys that eclipsed me, of course, when it came to the offer end, but up to that point, I don't know too many guys that pretty much had that type of the numbers that I am with, just from an offer standpoint and things of that nature. But we had a lot of greats come out to say that.
That's what's up. Now at this time, Dan Mullen offers you first, right? But then, you decide to make a commitment on your journey, not even to go to Mississippi State, which is like 30 minutes up. For the people that don't know where West Point is, it's like less than 30 minutes right up the street from
15 minutes
Start Vegas. That's what they call it, Start Vegas. But you decided to go an hour 15 the other way down to T-Town, Tuscaloosa. How did you decide and why did you decide to commit to Alabama?
And I want to say this because I want to clear this up for a lot of people. My personal opinion, why I chose to go to Alabama personally, was because it was three schools. It was LSU, it was Mississippi State, and it was Alabama. I loved LSU. Don't get me wrong, I really did love LSU. I loved LSU, but respectfully saying, it was too far from home for me. But it was right down the road. It's 4 hours away. We narrowed down to my top two schools, which of course Mississippi State and Alabama. And no regrets in my process. I think my mom played a large role in where I ended up going to University of Alabama, and it was the best decision of my life. Um, because, and I say before, because when you look at a school, you look at a certain qualities, and the qualities that my mom pretty much looked at was pretty much the educational side, the coaching side, things of that sort. I think if you just pick that, then Alabama was a sure pick for a lot of people. You go with the best coaches, you go with the best academics.
That's true.
You go with things that hey, your child's gonna graduate in 3 years. I did graduate in 3 years. Your child, they gave me clear-cut things to what you was gonna do outside of the field. We're gonna always be here for your child from a networking standpoint, things of that sort. And everything up to this point has been true. And with that basically being said, I did decide to go to University of Alabama, and I think it did do me a lot of justice going there. And my reason for going there was a young guy. It was because of the lights. It was because of the glamour. I drove an hour and 15 minutes down the road, and it was like I was in Las Vegas or something, man. We had rounders. We man, and as a kid, man, you 16, 17 years old, and I'm being so honest, man. At this point in time, you got grown women calling your name like, "Oh, you Scott Lashley." You know, you can't even fathom it. You can't even wrap your mind around it. And those things, respectfully saying, man, was a naive way and a shallow way of things of that sort. But respectfully saying, it was one of the best decisions of my life going there because it taught me so much. And I was a part of not only a great team, a historical team, but I was a part of some great leaders, some great brotherhoods. And when you win, you can really and truly. I came from a winning program from West Point, so it only made sense for the most part. And I was the outcast, don't get me wrong. A lot of people gave me a lot of hell for going to that school, man. Wow. A lot of hell.
Like a lot of people from your city gave you a lot of hell?
I'm going to say a lot of people. I'm not going to say directly for the city. It was a lot of love from the city, but I'll say a lot of people in general gave me a lot of hell for going to University of Alabama, as they should. Don't get me wrong, as it should.
Not necessarily. That's your life, though.
It is my life, but at the same time, I do understand a lot of things that you don't supposed to lead a state when you come from where we come from in the state of Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Because you are a Mississippi guy. And with you being a Mississippi guy, even though you're right up the road, the saying was nobody's gonna take care of Mississippi players like Mississippi coaches or athletes or a program for the most part. And a part of it as well is a great mentor of mine. A great mentor of mine, I would say, is Johnny Cooks. And he really and truly, he was my reason of really stepping into the offensive line role. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. And with that basically being said, he was there, and he was like, man, because when I first started playing football, I wanted to be a defensive line, I wanted to be a DN. I wanted to go make tackles. And he said, you're an offensive lineman. And he really helped me out so much throughout my journey. And it hurt me because I know I hurt him for the most part by going to that school. And Johnny Cooks, who a lot of people know is the best athlete to ever come through Mississippi State University. And that did something to me, but he respected me. He was there for me. He was there for me as I went on my journey. And I think the best teacher is life within itself. So at the same time, I ended up coming back home. So I say that, but we did a lot. We had a lot of winning. We had a lot of culture. We had a lot of brotherhoods that were formed. We had a lot of identity. We had just a real sense of football. And regardless of anything, man, it's nothing but love for a lot of people. But I do understand what a lot of these guys go through inside of the state, because I was that guy inside of the state. My journey is different because I went outside of the state. I went against charted territories and enemy lines for the most part. Did not go to Ole Miss. But don't get me wrong, shout out Ole Miss, because I really like Coach Lane Kiffin, because he recruited me there. But in so many words, I understand, because I get phone calls from guys, man, they don't mess with me, they don't rock with me. Things that sort. I understand that for the most part, but at the same time, I don't play on their empathy or things they want to hit me back. Man, F them people, we don't care about those people, where the case may be. No, not really, because I understand that at some point in time, at the same point in my life right now, you're going to need these people.
Yeah, for sure.
At the end of the day, they can be mad, but only strong can show compassion to the weak. Things get better later.
Dang. So also in this era, Nick Saban, this is where he's starting to build up the dynasty, and the dynasty is already rolling around this era. You decide to go down to Alabama, you make that commitment. Your freshman year, you basically redshirt. Sophomore year, you appeared in 3 games. What was your journey like just going through Alabama, and like what are some of the challenges that you had to face down there?
Well, first and foremost, I would say it was very interesting for the most part. My challenges going down to Alabama was more so mental, more so than anything. It was never physical because we came from a program like West Point, lifting weights, running, things of this sort. Even though you did have your challenges, but I would say my biggest thing was mental, was learning the playbook. We come from a very effective system inside of West Point that works, that wins, that still wins to this day. But then you go to a pro style system like which Lane Kiffin was so innovative. Lord have mercy, was so innovative, and he still is. I think he's the pioneer of college football to today because nobody was putting up them big basketball numbers until he came around. Yeah, you know. So in so many words, it was the playbook, there was the technique, it was life beyond the field. It was trying to figure out how to mitigate certain things when it comes from off the field, on the field, your nightlife, your day life, things of this sort. It was a lot of things to where I did have identity crisis, I would say. And the best thing for me was actually coming back home to Mississippi, but I needed to go through that journey. I needed to venture out for the most part because I made a lot of mistakes, but in between my mistakes, I had a lot of things as well that assisted me. I created my son there, my biggest blessing, and it had allowed for me to find my purpose. And that dynasty that was created there, to be in that room with nothing but first round picks after first round picks, after the brotherhood that was there, actually being a part of those teams. And going into, I would say, at my red shirt freshman year, it was something that was definitely, I never forgot. We played our first game, and going out there and you hearing the fans scream your name for that point in time. You just got to really just pay attention to the small details on and off the field. But those things really just built us. They built our character, winning. And you understood that mantra of winning didn't just carry you on the field, it carried you off the field, and it carried you inside of life as well.
Wow. So how did you even like break yourself just getting into the lineup? You know what I mean? Because like during the senior year, you know.
Yeah, so I would just say my freshman year, my true freshman year, I actually played in 2 games my true freshman year, but I redshirted, of course, and then my following year, it was actually more than that. I actually played probably more games by sophomore.
But look though, that online, it was saying
It was like you got better and you looked at it. But I played a lot of games because we ran up that score a lot my sophomore year. We won the national championship the year. But in so many words, man, I think just the consistency. I think just getting around people that know more than you, putting your ego out of it, checking ego at the door, really asking questions. My first year, I was kind of nervous. The second year, I had guys like Cam Robinson. I had guys that just kind of stepped in that mentorship role for me and really and truly just assisted me. And I really and truly, man, just simmered down for the most part. It wasn't a freshman anymore. And respectfully saying, everyone knew going into your second year, you got to play or you better think about going somewhere else.
Wow.
So that basically being said, man, just take everything for what it was. And I made a lot of mistakes. I just started really getting my life together until like my end of my junior year, going into my senior year.
Wow.
Because yes, I was playing the game of sport of football, but off the field, I wasn't living right, man. I was, doing things I didn't have any business doing. I was experiencing life for the most part. And that really and truly, that period of time, those bad choices impacted me a lot on the field, because when you come from Alabama, those bad choices, man, they will hinder you from actually getting on the field.
Wow.
But it's not to say I was out here doing God knows what. It was literally just small things, because the small things definitely do matter. And when you come from a room to where everybody's 4 stars, 5 stars, everybody's All-American.
Compete every day?
Every single day.
Wow.
Every day. And the small things will rear its head. And like Coach Saban said all the time, it doesn't get you until it gets you. And with that basically said, I called myself kept getting got. I would even say, man, I'm cursed, but really, truly, it was just self-inflicted wounds I was doing to myself. Your biggest ability is not only availability, but it's accountability.
Yeah.
I wasn't taking accountability in my life. I was doing things I didn't. I would say I needed those things for the most part, because it helps me kind of connect to the athletes that I have now. But more so than anything, man, going to Alabama, and I will always say this, it was the best decision of my life, and it was not just the winning. That's something that a lot of people say that never been through those walls. When you step inside those walls at Alabama, when I was there, you saw a sense of pride, you saw a sense of brotherhood, to where how we formed brotherhoods back then.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing now, but we called each other out. We held each other accountable.
That's real.
From the third string, second team, first string. Your first team guy, when the game was going on, when I was a freshman, our duty was to look out there at your position.
Yeah.
When they came back off the field, you're telling them what you saw, outside of the coach telling what they saw.
Wow.
So therefore, that's what we had to do. And you did that even if you was or was not a starter. We did it as a freshman. You 17, 18 years old. And that was your duty. Your duty was to literally be so present inside of the game, inside of practice, so take some in the mental notes to where it kind of just helped you kind of become a pro at all means necessary.
Yeah.
We're out here, we're running 110s, and you can't even breathe for the most part, man. And when you out there on rep 25, rep 30, and you can't even bend over to tie your shoes, you gotta literally raise your shoes up to so your brother can actually tie your shoes for you. You are your brother's keeper. When he's weak, when he can't go anymore, we would look at each other and be like, "You strong? I'm strong. If you strong, I guess we strong then." Coach TJ, blow the whistle, it's time to roll. So I just think that's the culture part that a lot of people say that they don't get to see. It's not.
That's real.
Yeah, man. It's just, and we would fight each other too all the time. But not. It was only for. It wasn't because, and I mean it so respectfully. It wasn't because of things done outside of the sport when it came to, oh, well, you text my whatever. No, it was more so like, it was pattern. It was a standard.
Yeah.
What you mean you missing reps? What, like, we didn't. I still don't get it to this day.
Yeah.
I don't get when I see, some of my guys come in and this guy got it. You drove out your way to go pick this kid up.
Yeah.
Your best friend up to come work out with me, and you see him up in here paying for this training session, and he ain't giving all he got, and you ain't on his ass. Boy, I just woke up early in the morning. I had to drive here, pick you up. And you coming up here for yes? No, that's not the case at all. But it's nothing emotional.
Yeah,
it's literally based off the standard. And I literally fell in love with the standard at Alabama.
Wow. But that's in reality. I was talking to one of my homeboys, and when Georgia won a national championship, like 2022, I think 21, 2022, one of them two, he was just saying that, like, in their program, because like,
Kirby Smart up there, but Kirby Smart, they cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, for sure. But like, not to diss Mississippi State or anything, but like, I didn't think we truly had a standard at Mississippi State. It wasn't like that. Like, you had some guys that was there trying to like push and everything, but it wasn't like, this is da-da-da-da-da. But like, even like, I used to ask my homeboy, like, hey, Georgia, I do this? Like, no, like, you are only as strong as your weakest link.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like when I used to go down there and be around them, he used to be like, this is that. Like, I'm talking about a true brotherhood. Like, they did everything together.
100%.
When we was in the locker room, just my own personal experience, I didn't feel like, it was like, stuff was different, but like every program is different also.
I'm gonna just say this. The time period that you came to Mississippi State and the time period that I got there, that wasn't the time period that I saw. When I was getting recruited there, all my years that I played at Alabama there, that regime when you're under Coach Dan Mullen, that 2017 team.
I wish I would have played on the team, because I really wish
that 2017 team, man, I wasn't on that team, of course. I was at Alabama.
Yeah.
That team,
it was different.
It was different. Everybody was committed to the standard.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you had a lot of guys echoing the same message.
Yeah.
So your biggest thing when you're a leader is not just leading yourself, but it's also your biggest. You want to go fast, go along. You want to go far, go together. But I feel as if, and I know as if you are a leader, I'm not just leading so you can follow me, but I'm leading so therefore you can become your own leader. So I'm no longer here as well.
Yeah.
So, and it's literally your alumni support tapping in at the same time. So I don't think a lot of schools pay attention to the value that alumni support actually has. You gotta have guys calling back, like, hey, bro, you locked in, bro? Hey, what you doing? Like, your guys is in the NFL, guys is in the regular workforce. And when you kind of go into like, what you came in 2 years, you were there, 21, 22?
Between 2020 and like in between 21 and
2020, I don't count that year for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but 2020, man, that was
It was a lot of itself.
It was a lot of stuff going on in the
World.
and I know you can't discredit it all out.
Yeah, for sure.
You definitely did have leaders there, but you couldn't do anything the basic way. So therefore, I would say maybe that year is when things got a little shifted because you didn't have the mandatory workout.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting COVID, and you know what I'm saying.
That's true.
It's
True.
so many factors that go put out there. And I think 2021, after losing all those games, losing the whole season, I think I saw the one game. You know, then after that, you know, things on the up and up. You go into your 2021 season, you got a very, very solid core, very solid unit for the most part. I'm there. You got your boy. You got the whole line there. You got
Q there.
Q. You got Bill. You got Cam. You got Charles. You got so many guys. That offensive line. And I would say the accountability factor that we had in 2021. Just because 2020 I wasn't able to play, I worked from my patella tendon.
But 2020 though, before we even get into, you know, that's like, because you push it ahead. But before 2020 though, like 2020 team was still freaking good. 2020 team is actually really good.
It was
actually really good. We just didn't, you know, because
so. But at the same time, you have players win games, coaches lose games.
Yeah.
So that basically being said, anytime a new head coach comes into an organization, for the most part, it's not going to be the best.
It's not going to be, because he's got to recruit.
You got old guys that's used to one system. You got new guys you just recruited, don't know any system.
That's true.
And you trying to plug everything together.
Yeah.
And I think guys were definitely bought into the program.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you get used to putting your hand in the dirt, like I was, with a tight end beside you.
Yeah.
With a 1.5 2 foot split.
Yeah.
Now people 3-4 yards away from you with the air raid system, which is great. Don't get me wrong, because you won. And God rest his soul, Coach Leach. And I really, really love because he gave me an opportunity. He really did. But I say that to say this: it's a change.
It's a change.
Yeah, you gotta adapt. You gotta adapt your mindset. Yeah. You gotta adapt everything, how you approach. You gotta adapt so many things.
That's real.
So therefore, it was just a growing phase for the most part. So and it was necessary, it was needed. And at the same time, you see where, and I'm not gonna stop because you.
No, you good. You good.
But yeah.
No, but I want to go back into your last 2 years at Alabama and get ready to transition, right? So you play a couple of snaps for Alabama that year, but you know, you decide to make another change in your life, right? But this time, rather than like going further away from home, going to LSU, South Carolina, you decide to actually, rather go 15 down the road, you decide to go 30 minutes down the road. Why did you, when it was time for you to transfer, decide to go back to Mississippi?
Well, transparent moment. So my last 2 years there was doing everything in my power, the best ability that I could. But when you and I go back again, my freshman sophomore year there, just living the college life, right? And I needed an opportunity to really and truly take advantage of what Coach Saban and what those coaches and what that system was actually trying to preach. And I did so much. I did things not to my fullest potential while I was there outside of the field that I needed an opportunity to do the things I know that I needed to do, how to address the locker room, how to address practice, how to do these things. And actually, like, let's say hypothetically speaking, you to me, so you, I see you as a pair. I mean, excuse me, as a peer, and I see how you come in. I see how you address me. I see how you address everything that you're doing. I know for a fact when I turn my back that you're going to have. I know how you're going to conduct yourself versus if you come in and you kind of slack and you're doing things kind of half-assed. I got to watch you. But then let's say later down the line you make that shift, you make that transition, and now you start to do things right. It's going to take me a long time to actually think. Like to actually rewire my brain, it's hard. It's easy. It's better to go from good to bad, from bad to good. Because everybody's brain is wired to think of you in a certain pattern or way. And it's not to say that I was making some bonehead decisions, but at the same time, I know I needed to do things the proper way. When I had my son, it really put a lot of things in perspective for me. And when I kind of made that transition, even before I knew when I was making the transition, going from Alabama to Mississippi State, I knew exactly where I wanted to go. I had everything kind of mapped out.
Wow.
I had everything mapped out that I wanted to do, but I wanted to do it in 1 year. And that was me, and we're going to get into that. And that was a whole spirit. Boy, I went through a spiritual journey like none other. I think a lot of players go through that when they make that transition from college to from transfer portal or sometimes year to year.
Yeah.
That spiritual journey, man, it was something second to none. But I needed to go through all of that. So when I made my transition to Mississippi State, I knew why I wanted to do it. Because I saw an opportunity there for me to go and take all the teachings that I learned here and apply it in a place and get back to my actual, my village. I needed to get back to my village. I need to get back to all my family, my support staff, the people that poured into me, from the people that, and it's not just the people of my blood descent, just everyone. It was so many people that poured into me, man. I need to get back to just getting back to who I was, because I lost myself when I was over there. Literally an identity crisis at times. But I knew what God had in store for me. And when I came back home, was when I was in the process of making that transition, I knew what needed to be done. And what needed to be done was actually to stop faking and actually start to live it. Start to live the things that I knew that I could, knew that I could do, and eventually end up manifesting for the most part. But it was just time for me to take things to another level, man. And I needed a fresh start. And there was no better place than doing it from the place that some people would say, yeah, you should have started there. It's a beautiful thing I did start there.
Wow.
It's a beautiful thing that I went to Alabama.
Well, I want to pause you for I got this thing I do on my pod where I like to walk people back in their moments, right? From everything. And I want you, because a lot of times, as football players, as people in this world, we never actually reflect on some of the things we've been through. So I'm gonna walk you back real quick, okay? You said at 12 years old, correct me if I'm wrong, that you was diagnosed with a bone disease, right? And then, from these years, like your bones out, they call you,
That's it, okay.
But you get a nickname from having a bone disease, right? So then over the couple of years, you are proceeding to trying to become this person that your mom and you already had a plan mapped out for your life, right? So do you end up playing tight end, you run slants, you catch a touchdown, and then you turn around, Dan Mullen comes in while you're in trouble in school and you get an offer, right? But then you decide to make a decision to go to Alabama, right? And when you go to Alabama, like you said, like a lot of people didn't like that decision, but then you go to Alabama and you learn all of these different things, and all of these different things has created a character for who you are today, right? And you go through Alabama, it doesn't go the way you want to. You're out doing whatever you're doing as an 18 and 19-year-old, which again, you can't blame, because the mental space is not
100%.
where you are now, right? But then you make another transition and go back to Mississippi State. Is a whole lot of twists and turns. But then, you go through all those twists and turns for about about 4 years. But it's like in your mind where you are, you're still not getting that that breakthrough just yet. Even you say you fight in a mental space, but then you saying now that
and I get that.
when you get to Mississippi State, you hit another identity crisis.
Man, yes, sir.
And what was that identity crisis? Because again, I see you walk around the locker room, and this time you was not as, you probably was, but we probably wasn't as close to this now, but you wasn't as outspoken.
100%.
Cause you would just walk around, you'll do your rehab, and then you'll leave. And I mean, what happened?
I would say, respectfully saying, when I got to Mississippi State, that was a crazy, it was a, 2020.
Stellar.
2020 was a crazy year, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had things mapped out that I wanted to do that ended up sending me down a deep depression. I had everything wrote out how I wanted to do it, and I got to Mississippi State, and I called myself trying to control the narrative. And God had the more I tried to do it my way, the more people didn't know my personality, the more I was in my head, the less I was out there physically doing things, and the more I became disconnected from myself and my spiritual self as well. And when I got there,
hold on, I'm sorry. I know if I'm gonna take you down, but I want to stop you there when you said God had a plan.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people that don't know God, people that do know God, that are going through these things, just describe that to me and break that down to when you saying you had a plan for yourself, but God got a plan for himself. Yes.
The more you try to do things your way, the more obstacles you're going to run into, possibly.
Yeah.
And it's depending on the whatever you're kind of going through at that point in time. But when you kind of follow what God has in store for you, it will still be hard.
Yeah.
But it will have some instructions or some different principles on how to mitigate these.
You're protected by the plan.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. But we go get into the story.
Okay,
but
cool.
that's big.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of people don't understand that it's one thing when you have your way and you're going the wrong way and you're not actually protected by the plan. And it's another thing where we're saying now it's God's way and I'm protected by that. If something was to happen, I'm falling back on his grace and his mercy. You see what I'm saying? Rather than if you go the other way, you're falling back on everything that you set out to plan. So now you're in a place where you fall back on God, you are trying to figure out identity, and you tear this fibula, and how do you proceed from there, considering that, like...
Bro, when I say I was trying to control everything in 2020, I was trying to control everything from the way I literally walked. Like I had toe shoes. I had everything in my head of how I wanted to do it. Like, because I saw how people did it. I saw my best friends do it. But I also saw how mentally, how they would literally ring you raggedy and crazy at the same time. And what I mean by that, when you try to control everything, and I was only looking from a bird's eye view versus maybe getting close to the person, asking, how are you doing this? What's actually motivating you?
Yeah.
And maybe if they told me that would have assisted me so much and forced me having so many blockages and blockades.
Yeah.
I get there every day. I got a daily manifestation. I got a daily reflection of what I'm trying to go through that day. I'm trying to control every single hour of my life.
Wow.
Why? Really and truly, I can't even give you like the general. I wanted, because I had an end goal.
Yeah.
And with this end goal, man, I wanted to leave no doubt, because I left so much on the bone when I was at Alabama that at this time I wanted to exhaust everything possible, from the nutrition, from the training, from the rehab, from whatever. When I first got there, I had a degenerating tendon when I first ever got there. They looked at my tendon and was like,
Wait, Mississippi State knew this?
No, listen, this is not an issue.
Yeah.
This was something that you possibly could
You had
play through.
play through. Yeah, you didn't know.
I didn't know when I was there at Alabama, and not saying that whatever case may have been, there's no smut on their name, whatever the case may be, because who knows? I may be able to get an MRI until I got there, because I kept having Alabama was so mentally ready to lock in, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, you may be able to go through the proper protocols of getting MRI. When I had my MRI, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like we see something, but they treat it. So don't get me wrong, they're doing everything the medical way, and I wanted to go that route, and I just, man, I can't. It's kind of hard to even put that stuff into words, bro. Because when you get injured, I feel like, man, you got to go through because you're forced to sit down.
Yes.
And when 2020 hit, the season's kicking off, and I'm going towards the bed, man, I feel like this pop happened. And I'm like, man, like, what is this? And they look at my tendon again. Of course, at this point in time, we're going to proceed with an operation.
Yeah.
And I promise you, man, I was like in my head, I'm like, God, why me? Like, again, this is another surgery. Man, I had so many knee surgeries, man, and I ain't even go take out through that, but I had so many knee surgeries. I don't even know what number. It's probably like 9 or 10 or whatever case this may be, because in between my college, I kept having PRP injections. I kept having like cortisol injections in my knees, and things like that. So I kept having like all of these injuries kind of piled on top of each other. And I would just ask God, why be in so many words, due to a great vessel that God had bestowed upon me and beside me as well to lead me through this difficult time. And God was like, can you hear me now? In so many words. And
boy,
when I say from that point on, I knew that God brought me back to Mississippi State for a reason. And I said, I'm going to continue to do certain nuances that is in my willpower, but I would no longer try to control like all of these other factors in my life. And I trusted everything, every step. I completely committed myself to going to talk therapy again, because I did talk therapy a lot. There's so many vessels I left out, man. At 9 years old, my rest in peace, my Alex, she had committed suicide.
Wow.
And we had started, that's when mental health became so prevalent inside of my family. That's why I actually started my talk therapy, but at this point in time, transitioned to where we're at now.
Yeah.
I'm doing talk therapy. I'm talking to the elders in my community. I'm just talking to people because in this game of football, man, you can get lost so much.
Real loss.
And I'm just trying to find my footing inside of not only the game, but just inside of my life in general. I found myself wanted to have communications with the woman who brought my son into this world when it comes to just getting on one plane and one accordance. Yeah. And God helped me out so much, man. He helped me out so much, and I can keep going on and on from the people He put into my life, to my family, to the Witherspoons, to the Verdells, etc. All these families that just pour so much into me, man, and still pour so much into me to this day. But mentally, bro, I couldn't walk in the locker room at that point in time because I was so line driven that I promise, and it may sound crazy to some people, but I couldn't even see. Like I would see people, but it's like I was lost, bro. Like literally lost. Wow. Respectfully saying, like I was lost trying to find my way, trying to find my footing, because this big guy, and you got the stuff in your head that Mississippi State. You left Mississippi. You came back to Mississippi State. I'm thinking about all the tweets that's gonna go out.
Wow.
I'm thinking of all the outside noise that's gonna create. That's inside of my head.
Inside of your head, yeah.
Bro, when I say my time in Mississippi State, that 2020 year, even going to 2021 year, man, was really, really difficult from a mental standpoint. I didn't want to go out to, I didn't party. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. I ain't never seen them out. Because 2020, I was having other things.
Yeah, I didn't do any of those. I still don't do it to this day. So, yeah, man, I was trying to just find my way, man. I still am to this day to a certain extent, but at that point in time, I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to I didn't even want to go to the grocery store, bro.
Wow.
Like, even in transition inside of 2020, which you may take me there, 2021, but I just wanted to work out. I just wanted to work out and find my peace, find my serenity. And I still do to this day, because it literally saved my life. And I really and truly, man, I can't give God enough credit for all the great things that He has done for me, and He is still do for me to this day. But I understand without trial, there's no great test or testimony in between it. So, man, I really and truly can't thank that guy. I say that guy. That's my dog. Can't thank him enough.
Well, I'm gonna take you somewhere, and you don't even know this, okay? In 2020, between 2020 and 2021, when everything was happening, and it was happening in your life, it was happening in mine too.
I feel like a lot of people went there and played, listen, man, I go like a purge.
Listen, and the reason why I was saying that is because, I don't know if you remember, Kobe might remember this, little Kobe might remember this.
McQuillan. What's up, dog?
I walked in that West Point locker room. You remember you brought me, you was like, come work out with me, like, I got you, let's go to this. And like, at this time, I don't know what he charging now, but he was just starting.
Yeah, sure. I was at the end, it was like literally something.
Yeah, and we transitioned into this round. But he was charging $10 for a workout. And I was like, this is affordable. Because I ain't had no money. For it. He's like,
I was.
My $10. Give my $10.
My life.
Yeah.
They were tripping out there.
Yeah. No, for real. So, I remember you start charging $10 and you was like, I want you to trust me. And he was like, I'm going to help you out. Tell me what you're trying to do. And I remember when we walked in there and I was putting on my shoes and I was running, I was doing everything. And he was like, you came all the way down here just to freaking pout and do whatever. But I was going through so much at the time mentally, because I just couldn't understand why God was trying to make me do it. Like, after I got an opportunity to be on the team, he take me off a couple of years later. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And in that time, I want to thank you, because I was at my lowest, and you took me away from saying me versus me. He was like, it's not you versus you. It's you versus something else. It's you versus this. Fight to the end. He was like, you could say me versus me, but it's not really you versus you. It's like, get that crap out of your freaking mind. Because the reality was I was fighting my own thing when in reality it was just God's plan.
Yes, sir.
And when you say me versus me, it's almost like you're trying to be in the control of yourself, where you're pushing them out, so yourself. And it was like you was speaking a message that you was going through to me, and I was going through at the same time. And I don't know if you even seen that during that time when I was going through it, but like, I just want to appreciate you and thank you just for, opening that door to like get that stuff out of me. Cause like, I don't think I will be in this transition where I'm sitting right now today if I didn't go through that season in my life.
And I appreciate that, man, at the same time, because I understand the game of football.
Yeah.
I said this in the past, but I said on your show as well.
Yeah.
I prayed to God, I trusted God.
Yeah.
But what became my God was an idol, was a sport.
That's real. That's real.
I look at my car, football gave me that. I look at my life, I look at my house, my apartment I'm in. Football did everything for me.
So you didn't even have a God to trust
I
you.
did.
Yeah.
But I'm saying one thing, but my heart is different. So at that basis, my heart is being driven by the game. My heart is being driven by these weights. My heart is being driven by something to where, and when y'all got close back to the source where I'm actually from, that's when I had my purge like nothing other, like my spiritual awakening for the most part. And it was like, I'll let you go and do your thing.
Yeah.
You see what that got you.
Yeah.
You came back, you still tried to do your own thing. You see what that got you.
Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta sit you down. And that was the best thing, but the hardest thing, because it's just like you trying to tame and I wasn't a wild animal, but it's like his analogy is trying to tame a wild animal, because you don't see it till later. You literally continue try to fight the process. You still trying to fight it over and over. And man, when I saw the opportunity of what I kind of went through, and just I'm always been a cerebral guy when it came just to, and also an analytical guy when it comes to, I journal to this day. I write, I meditate, I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things. I always kind of on that tip, even at a young age. And when I see guys like yourself at that point in time, and guys to this day going through those same things, I'm like, and I had these talks all the time with a lot of guys. I knew a lot of guys. It's not you versus you.
Yeah.
You saying it's you versus you. Next thing you know, you finna come around here rapping and be yo. No, dude, you ain't gonna do it, bro. And I'm here. Hey, bro. Hey, man.
You better be something YN.
And at that point in time, it wasn't even a thing at that point in time. But I understand, like, you are in control of your life.
Yeah.
And I understand you may be a little lost now, but the one thing I want the guys to understand is that if you get around me, I want to put so much life into you that would you know that you did that for you.
That's good.
Like, and you did that for you, but you did that for you by also understanding that God put something inside of you to where you're able to do it for yourselves. Yeah. I never forget, and God rest my father's soul. It's my second time speaking on him in the camera setting. I was going through some tough times, man, as a young guy, and things of that sort. And my dad gave me this analogy, and please forgive me, man. I got to get back in my Bible.
Yeah.
It was Jesus was on the boat. And I think the waves were really, really choppy, like they was so horrible. Yeah. And everybody was just like, panicking. And I want to say it was Peter or Paul. Somebody was on the boat with them. And in so many words, everybody's like yelling out, help me, save me, save me. And in so many words, as the seas continue to grow, like even worse. Yeah. And everybody's pretty much looking to the Messiah, looking to Jesus, like to say, like calm these seas down. Yeah. And I think Jesus had looked at the I want to say Peter, who was beside him. Please forgive me from that's that. But at the same time, the analogy was whatever's inside of me is inside of you. And what that basically said, he said, look out there, tell the seas to calm down. And he said, do it. And he did it, and it didn't happen. He said, do it again, and it didn't happen. Then he did it, and he said, trust it, feel it. Like what is inside of me is inside of you. And he did it, and the seas became calm. And it's the same analogy inside of life. Sometimes it's just always, and it's like, I understand that. sometimes you can pray and those prayers will come to fruition, but you got to trust it. You got to trust it. You got to trust that he put something inside of you as well for you to go out there and you go through these trials and tribulations, but you got to be so conscious and so aware to it to where it's like sometimes you're like, man, I'm hungry. And you think he about to put a fish on your plate, but the whole time he just give you a rod.
That's good.
So
That's good.
yeah, man. It's in the same way when I see guys like you guys, I can always tell when a guy going through a hard time in college, when he going through that mental phase, when he slow down on his liquor intake, his smoking intake, his social media presence. I reach out to those guys a little bit more often because I know that you now are stepping into your next transition in life.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. And I seen it in like one of my guys who actually may mention his name.
Yeah.
When they start posting some just more Bible scriptures than usual. Yeah, I reach out to him. I'm like, yeah, because I want you to stay on that journey. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I understand as you go through this path and you go on this journey, things are going to happen, but there are going to be mistakes as well. Don't lose sight. Don't grow worry of your faith. Wow. So yeah, man, it's bigger than a sport of football.
So I just want to even push into now, like exactly where we are. Like you just started. I wanted to talk about what you're creating now and what it's getting ready to come into. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and speak life into it now. You created a Scott Lashley Performance, SLP. Right?
Yes, sir.
I say that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And what is that about, and why did you decide to create it?
Well, I always had, like I said, I came from West Point, Mississippi, where we worked hard. The whole state continues to work hard. Yeah. And my biggest thing that I wanted to do is that when I went to University of Alabama, a lot of people were more developed than me. Yeah. Not physically, but mentally and technically wise. And I said, if I get an opportunity I would ask guys before I hit them, I would ask guys like, how did you get this good? How did you know what shin angles meant? How did you know anything about hip projection? How did you know how to address a barbell? Yeah. What do you mean hook grip? Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Who taught you these things? We 17, 18 years old. I'm 17, I started college. Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you just don't go hard, yeah, you go, but who taught you? Well, I had a trainer. Yeah. Well, I had a human performance coach. Well, I had a team of people that invested into me, and my parents invested into me at a young age. And that developed a lot of guys in a rapid way. Well, those guys actually knew how to do things from a mental, physical side that actually helped them on the depth chart. Yeah. Immensely. Yeah. And therefore, that development side was something that I really needed, and it was a mental side as well that I really had needed to tap into. And I always said, if I get that opportunity of starting something, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to do it. And going into 2021, I had still going through that spiritual. I would say purge or awakening at that point in time, and things got really scary for me, man. We had a fall camp. And I'll never forget this fall camp. And listen, man, these knees of mine, bro, would swell up so much. And I had so many knee surgeries. We got inflammation left and right, man. And fall camp about to get kicked off. And we had a really, really tough fall camp. And especially like that last one I think we had. And I'll never forget, man, I think I was blocking somebody and I just couldn't fit my hands, man. Yeah. And gave up the sack, and Coach Miller lost his mind. Lost it. Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah. And I love Coach Miller. I talk to him here and there. A lot of my guys offer a lot of guys that I've trained, and got a really good offensive lineman down from the coast up there from Mississippi playing out there at Baylor. But so many words, go back to the story. Man, go crazy on me, man. Yeah. Lose his mind, lose his shit. And at this point in time, I understand it, but respectfully saying for me, man, I was always my worst enemy when it came to football. Yeah. I never could enjoy the sport of football. When I got to this point in phase, this last phase, because I felt like I still had to feel like I was in control of stuff. And fast forward the situation. Go there, he gets upset, and he kicked me out of practice. Get mad, he don't kick me out, he sent me to Muscle Beach. And I go to Muscle Beach, and Coach Dan, was like, man, we need you this year. In so many words, like, you got to find a way. And I'm already in my head, like, listen, bro, when it comes to mental toughness, dog, I know like how I can push myself, and I know like sometimes I can't even walk out the bed. Like literally, like no BS. Like I'm literally going to sleep every night with 2 game readies on. After the game readies, because I got them on all night. it's a setting put on there. It'll run for an hour, off for an hour, run for an hour, off for an hour. And then after I get done with that, I'm waking up at 4 o'clock. I'm putting on, at this point, I didn't have Normatec, couldn't afford Normatec. Right now I had something called Air Relax, which are based on Normatec boots. I run them for 60 minutes straight because I'm just trying to not only be recovered, but my knees just inflamed so bad, bro. And I couldn't even squat. I had to go to the body bank, bro. It was bad. So I say all that to say I was in my head a lot. And with that basically being said, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to go out there and execute the block, but that point in time was just a little rough on me, man. And just the mindset that I am, and like it goes back again to I say football was my God. At that point in time, I felt as if football was walking away from me, so I felt like I wanted to live anymore.
Wow.
And foot practice went over. I told Coach, damn, I'm about to go to the restroom.
Yeah.
I go, okay, like I'm going to the restroom, and I don't go to the restroom. I take off my shit, I'm leaving. I'm gone. I take off my shit, I'm gone, I'm leaving. And I'm driving, I'm literally going back to my apartment. And as I'm driving back to my apartment, I park. I'm staying in Calypsy Apartments.
Yeah.
I park right there on the side. As I put my car in park, I'm texting everybody pretty much in my family goodbyes. Like, in so many words. Like, I'm telling them, whatever I had said to them and confidentiality. But I was at my lowest point, bro. I get out of my car, and at that point in time, I closed the door, closed my bedroom door, locked my front door in the road. But I had text people as well. I text Coach Brown, I text Thomas, I text my mom, I text my grandma, and then I put my phone in airplane mode. In so many words. And at this point in time, I'm about to kill myself.
Oh, wow.
And I had a gun, and I pretty much was sitting there on my couch, and I had the gun right there, and like I'm like phasing in and out, like, and crying like profusely. And I said this, if I can't play this game of football, I don't want to live, because football created identity for me. Because I was just a kid when I was younger. If I was just gonna go down and work on a railroad, this football has brought me everything I ever could dream of, because I never dreamed big in this sport. So getting a scholarship was everything. I did that. I'm starting. I got this. And at that point in time, when football walked away from me, I didn't feel as if I had a right to live. And I'm sitting there, and I got the gun for the most part, and I'm just sitting there contemplating, like, how am I going to do it? And in so many words, I'm about to go through my transitional phase. I literally think about my son, and he will grow without a father. And at that point, the gun that I had, I pretty much had put it up under the couch, because at this point in time, I had beat at the door. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. And the door ends up opening, and Tom is there, my grandmother's there, my mom's there, everybody at the door. And then of course they coming in, I'm just sitting there like crying, like profusely, like I can't even, but I'm mad because I'm pissed off. And because I don't want nobody to see me like this. Keep in mind, I don't talk when I go to the facility. And not only that, you had my brothers come over there. I think you had Q come over there. You had Charles come over there. Everybody was over there. Coach Miller was over there, and Thomas was over there. And it got really bad, man. And in so many words, I made a vow to the guys that was at that room. I said, this would be my last year ever playing football. And that was, at that point in time, wasn't my last year. Because, of course, I went and started my internship and started coaching at State, things of that sort. And that went on to be a very challenging season for me. But I made my commitment to the guys. I made my commitment to the team. And I went out there, and I literally, my mom had, not my mom, someone had asked me, why don't you make any plans after the game? I'm hearing everybody before we go in, they asked, why you make plans after the game, bro? I said, because I don't plan on being alive after the game. because I was willing to give anything it created and whatever that game pretty much. When I say, bro, football was my everything, like it really, and that's a part of the reason I'm so passionate to come to coaching.
Yeah.
Because you mean to tell me you ain't never had no real injury? You ain't never had no surgery? Not you, I'm just talking in general.
Yeah.
You ain't never like really had to like bump you. Like, you mean to tell me you really gonna waste God giving like ability?
Wow.
Like, I never could understand that, man. So yeah, bro, that was a really, really, really tough transition. When we got done playing Texas Tech, I followed suit. I know exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't do pro day.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I know you ain't want to do that. Do shit. Like, I stopped playing. Like, everybody, Scott upstairs. Like, I literally stopped playing. Texas Tech, that next week, Coach Brown got an opportunity for me to go in.
Yeah.
No problem. Next thing, I already had my master's, blah, blah, blah. And that's pretty much what started. And that phase, we went after that dark phase to where we at now. That was a phase to where I wanted to really and truly just take things to the next level, man. And I wanted to commit myself not only to training and being the best strength and conditioning coach possible, but also I wanted to start something which is SLP, Skylights Performance. Legal name is Prodigy Performance LLC. Yeah. But in so many words, that gave me an opportunity, man, of really seeing something that I found joy helping others.
Yeah.
Like, really and truly, seeing another black man, because I know what it felt to feel alone being a black man. I know what it felt to receive a bunch of offers and feel like the same people that maybe helped you get a bunch of offers, like they gone in the wind now because they care more about the clicks and the shares and the tweets about what they did for a person versus what they're currently doing, because maybe they can't connect with that because they ain't even play the sport themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. But me being that guy, I know how it feels. I know what it feels like to have 100,000 fans cheering you on, also booing you. I know what it feels like when you go look at your tweet name and you like, I know how all that stuff feels, man. So I can real deal, when I get a kid, I take them through transitional phases when it comes from high school, college to even the professional level, because I know that the game is played 100 yards, 50 plus width, but the game is really played upstairs, man. It's a mental game.
It's a mental game, real bad. And I didn't even know you went through all that. Yeah. See, like I said, like I used to just see you walk around the locker room, you just so quiet and you just say that. And I was still new, so like I didn't know how to, I was just only beside Monte, because I was just my locker buddy in that little area. I really did.
Everybody thought the same.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really talk to anybody. People didn't know my personality until I started coaching.
Until you started coaching, yeah.
Because that training saved my life. Like, when I say, when 2020 happened, I would real deal ask Coach Brown, he did, to set me out sleds and some weights and stuff like that, because we couldn't work out there.
Yeah.
During that weird phase, and it was whole world was on lockdown.
Yeah.
And we would go to the Sanderson and we would push sleds. After Sanderson, I wanted him to set out med balls. We would get the med balls, throw the med balls. We was just over, like, have like the little med ball things we saw James Harrison doing. Like, we were just finding interbeating ways of like trying to train. And after that, Coach Chalmers ended up doing me a solid. And we go to the Fear House in West Point, bring the guys there and work out. I was working out 4 or 5 times a day, man.
Wow.
And now that training, lifting weights, running, training in general, programming in general, it literally saved my life, bro. So therefore, even to this day, like, this is when I get guys in front of me, I understand, like, how many times do guys, for the most part, go to church on a weekly basis? Let's say if you go 1 hour on Wednesday, let's say 2 hours.
Yeah.
Hypothetically. But we know guys not going twice. I every guy going twice a year. Hypothetically. Yeah. How many times are guys playing a sport of football?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
You either playing it, you either watching it, you either literally playing it on the TV.
Yeah.
You're consuming yourself with this sport.
That's real.
So with that basically being said, man, you add to a lot of people subconsciously end up serving the game of football and not understanding how to use it as a tool and actually being a tool being used by it. Yeah. And it was never meant to be like that.
Wow. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, again, I just want to thank you. One, it's just so much to take in, because
What's that?
But I just want to thank you just for just coming on and like you just being here. And like my last and final question, I want you to tell 2 more questions, right?
Okay.
And one question is to what you're building at SLP Performance. I want you to tell to the people what exactly it is and how can they get involved. I want you to shout out all your platforms, all of those different things, so these people can know, if their child wants to, if their parents child wants to be associated with you, like, I want you to tell the people exactly what it is, what do you do, how to find your platform, and all those different things.
Well, first and foremost, you can find us on all platforms at SLP Athlete for the most part. Instagrams are, I would say, our most prevalent. Of course, I think we're like 22,000 followers on there. We go viral a lot, which is kind of good, I guess. Okay, but in so many words, it's a testament of what we do when it comes to just a human performance side. So we pretty much make athletes more explosive. We get guys leaner, and we pretty much we put guys in a position of thriving on the field and also off the field with a network tree like none other. Not only from high school, we've got a lot of guys that get a lot of offers due to a lot of great people inside the state that does God's work when it comes to getting these guys scholarships and things of that sort. But also we got a vast majority of which a lot of people know, agents. To where we in the NIL space, and a lot of our guys, especially the ones that kind of had those conversations with me, do very, very good. And it comes to the regard of a revenue sharing standpoint and things of that sort. But more so than anything, SLP Athlete, Prodigy Performance LLC is not only just about getting guys or girls. The quote, the analogy, bigger, faster, stronger. But also it's about a holistic approach of making better athletes, making better men and women, also citizens. And I have a approach of doing so that's very, you get around me, you'll be very intrigued because if you can hit a message and hit, not the tone, you'll become very, very far inside this life. And I get a lot of good athletes to come through. God only blesses me with a lot of great athletes, like literally, like honestly blesses me because I send out the message because I have a business. Yeah. So my business is just like McDonald's and Wendy's. So therefore, I literally will forward out messages to parents, to message them, DM them, tweet them, whatever the case is, because I'm trying to build a business. Because I understand, I see a lot of guys that get these 4 stars, 5 stars, All-Americans, then they end up being in a situation just like me. Yeah. Not meaningfully playing or starting until your 5th year. Yeah. If you get a 6th year, your 6th year. Yeah. So it's going to show that, we get some of our athletes, and I was an athlete that was getting the exposure, but was not getting the proper development. So the proper development is understanding exactly what you're going to step into when you walk inside of a college atmosphere. Not only did I do it, but also I assisted others with doing. I coached at Mississippi State as well. And it's not just for football players, for basketball players. It's for soccer players. We got a lot of soccer girls as well. And things of that sort. So you can find us on all platforms, SLP Athlete. You can reach out to us at 662-295-0195. Once again, that's 662-295-0195. And same thing, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, SLP Athlete on all platforms.
And my last thing I want to ask you, and I really want you to think about it before you answer this.
Okay.
All right. What would you say to the kid that may not have the money to be able to afford SLP, or that's going through a challenging time, and he's just trying to hold on to his football career, trying to hold on, like, be in high school, anywhere you are in life? What would you say to that kid?
Well, first and foremost, and I'm glad you asked this question, you was kind of one of those guys, to an extent. Yeah. I've never in my life turned around an athlete because he or she did not have the money. You have to have the want to do so. Because if you don't have the money, I mean, somebody else got to pay for it, which a lot of times ends up having to be me, the business. So with that basically being said, you got to show me that you want it. So more so than anything, if you can come to me and we can have an actual conversation, because I understand what it's like not to have means of paying for something because of poor management property skills, or you just do not have the funds to doing so. And I also understand what it's like to be young, because I have a lot of athletes that come up to me, I ain't got the funds, but then a week later, I see you got new shoes on your feet. And not only did you do it, but you posted on Snapchat, and I see with all your sport bet money and this, that, and the field, we got to have an actual conversation. And if you can be honest with me, and we can have an honest dialogue with one another, then there's nothing that I really and truly would not do for the athlete, because I'm athlete first. Respectfully saying, it's a lot of parents as well that I have definitely had payment plans for them. We have done things to where we have different, this is like I'm wanting to tell a lot of my stuff is again, like with certain gym memberships, if you can reference us to people, percentages, all things of this sort. So it's so many ways, man, to get inside our program. So many people have said things about, oh, well, it's too expensive, things of this sort. If you come to me, you have a conversation with me, I promise you, same way when it comes to like the lawyer and the person got like a real moving case, like, man, I got you, I do this one for free, what the case may be. But it got to be an honest conversation for the most part. So I've never. I stand on that. Unless you really and truly, I know you just weren't living right, and I know you was gonna come in, he was gonna waste my time.
Yeah.
Now you come in, you ain't got the money, you wasting my time. Then we not gonna see eye to eye at all. You're not gonna be in here long.
Yeah.
So all right, that's that. So I mean, it's just the real, cause that's real. It's taken away from me. It's taken. You sat. I understand. And when I was younger, I didn't understand the importance of time.
That's true. Time is very important. Listen, if you're trying to do real business, time is very important. And if you want to do fake business, you be in your own time. That's what I like.
Time is important. Time is of the essence, and you won't understand. A lot of kids won't understand
it until they get to that
so
place.
older, you know what I'm saying? Think it's sort, but at the end of the day, my business is not a charity event. It never has been a charity event, but at the same time, I understand. What I understand is that as first self, as a personal example, and I say this quickly. Everything I ever wanted was given to me for free when I played the University of Alabama Forest training. We had the best strength and conditioning coach. We had the best nutritionist. I got to Mississippi State. I feel like Coach Blount is a phenomenal strength and conditioning coach, phenomenal for his development side, mental side, the whole staff. Coach Traver, Coach Brown, Coach Dre, even my boy Drake, Coach Ramble, and there's so many guys on and on and on. Even Coach Tim Washington, but in so many words. Even we had Miss Pam there. That was religious when it came to eating and doing things. You're waiting to vitamins. Let me tell you this. I took my ass to a summit one time, and I felt like everything that those people were saying at the summit was like brand new to me. And you know why I thought that? Because I paid for it. You forget? I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, bro, I can't believe I just came across this information. So I say it to say, man, whatever you pay for, hey, you gonna log into it. And if you don't, I mean, hey, I can't want it more for you. But at the same time, that's why I get a lot of parents as well that say, I'm not gonna keep wasting my money on this. Because at the end of the day, your parents look at you now, they love you, but you're an investment.
You're an investment,
You're an investment. And they ain't gonna invest on their return. And that's the thing, it's the nature of the business, man. But outside of that, bro, I appreciate you bringing me on, man. It's so much more within so many words, bro. I appreciate you bringing me on. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate just you as an individual because not only, and I take these things lightly, man. A lot of people came to me, you know, in the past, like, man, Scott, you helped me out so much. And then Scott, I don't even look at myself in that particular. Man, I'm not even joking. I'm up here at my son's flag football game. And, you know, I'm huge for one. He's an actual man. So everybody like that guy. Well, he do something. Everybody was massive. So now I'm sideline my son. The two referees till he play flag football, and they asking, man, what line you play for? And I tell them the teams I play for. They just for it. And fast forward the situation. Both the guys are two different situations. One was on this field, one was on the opposite field. And he said, well, by chance, where you from? And I said, I'm from Mississippi. And he said, what part? I said, I'm from West Point. I'm up here in Atlanta. You want to be Scott Lashley, would you? Joke you not. I'm like, oh man. I said, yes, sir. I said, yes, sir. But they don't reference me. I always want to be referenced about what I'm doing now. You still train the guys, man? Yes, sir, I am. Like, man, are you gonna come up here to Atlanta? Like, they super excited for the most part. Man, all these kids out here, this and the film. 30 minutes later, second game kicking off, different referee asking the same question. And fast forward the situation. He said, man, what part you from? I said, Mississippi. Man, I got a sister that live in Columbus. I said, oh man, it's close. You're GTA area. I said, I'm from West Point. He said, you don't want to make the videos? I was like, I said, what videos? I'm like, what videos? He was like, you do he said, you do the training videos. You do SB athlete? I was like, I said, yes, sir. And in so many words, man, I said to say, I don't take these opportunities of people, you know, recognizing my work. It just shows me that I'm doing something because this is real deal. Like my business, bro, like it's real deal faith driven. Like it's real. Like I'm not here to toot my horn. Yeah, we go viral. That's why I didn't pay any mind to that to the most part. But when I say mentally, if you get around me, bro, you get around. You better be ready, man. It's like, dog. I'm going to like, bro. They like mentally
a different mindset.
You gonna feel like it's nothing. Man, bro. I was at a football game this past weekend. One of the little bros come past me, shaking my hand. Man, Scott, what's up? Will you like your ass? Well, I'm ready to. I'm like, I'm telling you, bro. Because I know you there, but I promise you, like, when it all started pouring in, when all them offers started pouring in, when all this recognition started pouring in, I promise you, guess what? When you get to the next stuff, you gotta start back over.
Yeah, start back over again. Yeah.
So I say all this, say, man, I appreciate you giving me on this platform to talk, and I see the things you're doing. I remember the opportunities of seeing you. I remember the opportunities of talking to you. And let me say this again to the camera. Please keep this in. I was a guy that had all the cachet. I was a guy that came in, was a big transfer. Yeah. I was a guy that came out of high school as a big recruit. I was a guy as well that always looked at anybody as somebody.
Yeah.
So therefore, I never looked down at the next man. I don't care if it was a starter. I didn't care if he was a starter. I didn't care if he was a janitor. I spoke to everyone.
Yeah.
So respectfully, and my door policy was open to everyone as well. Yeah. So therefore, it wasn't like, oh, I'm starting my business. I just want to get all my dogs over here.
Yeah.
I knew of Quez, but like you said, I never talked to him.
Yeah, for sure.
I never talked to Quez. I ain't talked to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I talked literally to the nigga that played beside me my whole life. Yeah. So with that basically being said, man, I say to say, how you treat someone will come back, and it will pay a lot of test, a lot of homage to how you, because these are the people that you're going to need. You don't know who you gonna need in life.
That's real.
You don't know. I could have easily been a job, man. Get your ass up. Not talking to you, talking to anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Get out of my face, man. What the person talking about, bro? Who are you? You don't play, whatever case may be. Like so many guys do. Then later on down the line, when your football career over with, you looking for a job or looking for some help. Then, bro, they look at you like, no, I'm not. Situation happened, man. I'm over here in Alabama, and I'm at Alabama, and I get invited by one of my great dogs, Dunny Lee, and I'm over there, and I'm like, man, I'm looking around, trying to meet the person who actually owns the suite that we in.
Yeah.
And I go next door, and he don't even know, but I go next door, and I'm having conversation with other people that's in that suite, and I'm just conversing. I'm looking around, I'm like, who owns this? Dude walk up to me, tap me on my back, Scott, you don't remember me? I remember you, man. I'm trying to look for who. I'm trying to get connected with the right person. Yeah, because I'm trying to have conversation. I'm trying to build my business, man. And he said, this is mine.
Wow.
I said, yeah, part of the reason why, like, a lot of people that I play football, they don't get this opportunity because you're different because you spoke to me, bro. You feel like somebody. He was a walk-on, didn't even play.
Wow.
Didn't even step, man, bro. People threw towels at him.
Wow.
But I tell you, bro, you never know who you need.
That's real.
You don't know who you need in this world, man. So with that basically being said, please, athletes, man, take heed to how you treat people, because I promise you, they will be the ones at some point in time to where if you don't need them, you will understand the value that both parties could have.
Yes.
Because not saying, oh, I need you, but at the same time, we can collaborate, we can have things come about. In the same way with Quez, me and Quez have had conversations off air, multiple conversations, and inside this media realm, if he needed a workout plan, of course he'd hit me up with a case may be or whatever. When it comes to this is beautiful. This is something to where these are conversations that was had in 2020, 21, 22. These are conversations that you see are coming to fruition of you keeping your faith, you being consistent, of you literally planting a seed, and now that seed, yes, it's sprout, but it's grown. That's what you ain't. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, dog. That's what other people. I see you plant the seed, bloom. Yeah, listen, bro. I ain't bloomed at all. I'm glad you think that, but I'm telling you, man, it's just beginning. I said to say, man, bro, I'm immensely proud of you. And I said the same thing to Monte and so many other guys that we had conversations as well. Immensely proud of you guys. And I understand as young black men, because we both are in proximity the same age, it's like, we can get lost, man. We can get lost. We really could, man. We genuinely can. So to see a young brother like yourself, foot on ground, one foot in front of the other, and taking these meaningful steps, and to have opportunities, connection to pull something like this, man, in the environment that we in, and things that sort, it pays to homage, like, okay, as men, we all can be great friends, but at some point in time, we got to venture off. Understand at some point in time, as we venturing off, we're really in the trajectory of going upward. And as we're going upward, at some point in time, we will connect again. And this is just another phase of connecting again, brother. The next one, we're just going to continue to open up. Hey, I appreciate you, Brian.
Well, he said it. He said it. I don't got nothing else to say. Eventually, we're going to meet again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. I truly appreciate you for just hearing his journey from obstacle to obstacle, from journey to journey. But like how he said, that's only one step, one foot in front of the other, and you ain't seen them bloom yet. SLP is on the rise.
Yes, sir.
And we going to see you soon. Thank you so much. See you all later. God bless.
God bless. Thank you.